Let us discuss next topic. Total production of final goods includes consumption, investment. This implies that there is a trade-off. At a particular period, given a level of total output of the economy, if more capital goods are produced, a less of consumer goods would be produced. But production of more capital goods would mean that in future, the laborers would have more capital equipment to work with. This leads to a higher capacity of the economy to produce with the same number of laborers. Thus, increase in capital inputs result in increase in total output, including consumer output. If total output is higher, the amount of consumer goods that can be produced would surely be higher. Suppose a farmer has 1000 kg of wheat with him. He can either consume it or use it as a seed for further production. Suppose 1 kg of seed results in production of 10 kgs of the produced. He can exercise the following options. He consumes all of it. In this case, he can produce nothing for the next year. He can keep 100 kg as seeds, capital, and consume 900 kg consumption. In the next year too, he will have 1000 kgs of wheat. He can keep 200 kg as seed, capital, and consume only 800 consumption this year. However, the produce next year would be 2000 kg. Even if he spares 1000 kg as seed, he is left with 1000 kg for consumption. Now let's talk about consumption. One's ability to buy commodities comes from the income as follows. Laborer earning wages, or as an entrepreneur earning profits, or as landlord earning rents, or as owner of capital earning interest. In short, the incomes that people earn as owners of factors of production are used by them to meet their demand for goods and services. Simply put, the firm's demand for factors of production to run the production process leads to create payments for the public. In turn, the public's demand for goods and services creates payments to the firms and enables the sale of the products they produce. So, the social act of consumption and production are intricately linked, and in fact, there is a circular causation here. The description of the economy in the previous section enables us to have a rough idea of how a simple economy, without a government, external trade, or any savings, may function. The households receive their payments from the firm for productive activities they perform for the latter. There may fundamentally be 4 kinds of contributions that can be made during the production of goods and services. Contribution made by human labor, remuneration for which is called wage. Contribution made by capital, remuneration for which is called interest. Contribution made by entrepreneurship, remuneration of which is profit. Contribution made by fixed natural resources, called land, remuneration for which is called rent. In this simplified economy, there is only one way in which the households may dispose of their earnings, by spending their entire income on the goods and services produced by the domestic firms.
Okay, sir. I understood the cyclic structure of consumption and investment.